Hi, my name is Matthew Chambers, and I will be discussing the properties of magma, including silica content and the difference between mafic, intermediate, and felsic. The terms mafic and felsic describe not only magma, but the igneous rocks they form. These two terms describe the composition of magma on a sliding scale of how much silica is in the rock. Something with very low amounts of silica is considered ultramafic. A step above that is mafic, then intermediate, and finally felsic, which has a very high content of silica. Magma that has a silica content of 45% or less is considered mafic. Meanwhile, magma with a silica content of 65% or more is considered felsic. An easy way of distinguishing these two types of igneous rock is by its color. I only have a black and white printer, so it's kind of hard to tell, but mafic rocks are generally much darker, and felsic rocks are generally much lighter in color. The two terms mafic and felsic come from the minerals that can be found in these rocks. The Ma in mafic stands for magnesium, and the FiC is for iron. This means that you will usually see magnesium and iron in mafic rocks in higher amounts than you can expect in felsic rocks. The term felsic has its own meaning as well. The Fel in felsic stands for feldspar, and the Sic is for silica. You can expect to find these minerals in higher quantities in felsic rock, in the same way that mafic rock works with their own minerals. Mafic rocks are generally formed at ocean ridges, which means that the ocean floor is generally made out of mafic rock. The most important mafic rocks to be aware of are basalt and gabbro, as they appear in massive quantities on the seafloor. Felsic rocks can generally be found easier on continents, although both mafic and felsic magma can be found in volcanoes. The biggest difference between mafic and felsic magma is how it erupts. Mafic volcanoes flow very easily and generally are too slow to create immediate danger for the surrounding populations. The mafic magma from these volcanoes creates shield volcanoes, which are very flat and make up most of what is today Hawaii. However, volcanoes that are mostly made out of felsic magma can create much bigger issues. Felsic magma has a very high viscosity, which is basically a stickiness that traps types of gases like CO2 and water. Eventually, those gases build up until there's a massive explosion. These major eruptions have the potential to commit major damage to whatever's near the volcano. One of the most major eruptions in history of felsic magma was the Tambora volcano in 1815. Ash erupting from the Tambora volcano partially cloaked the earth from the sun, which dropped the earth by 5 degrees Fahrenheit for an entire year, the entire earth, which resulted in famine and a lot of damage being done to humanity. So the dangerousness of felsic magma eruptions should not be underestimated. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much.